So I walked in there, and I think I came off a little weird because I walk in and go, "Oh, I want to be in your gallery." And he's like, "Who are you?" So it worked out okay, I think.
Coming in hot. All right, let's see.
Okay.
On today's episode of the Spencer Covey Show, we have Tom DePree of Holland, Michigan. Woo! Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
And a big thank you to Al Wiener for setting this up. He, a longtime friend and acquaintance, and was able to set this up. So, Tom, you're, I'm going to leave these on. You're a professional artist.
Yes.
You've made your life doing art, and you have an interesting backstory by way of the way that you grew up. It was a little bit of a...
my father was in the Foreign Service, so we did a lot of traveling, and ended up back in the States when I was in 7th, 8th grade.
Okay.
Yep.
And the Foreign Service, for those that don't know, is essentially...
State Department.
State Department.
State Department.
Diplomatic relations.
Diplomatic. Mm-hmm.
What sort of things did you learn watching your father do that? Like a perspective. What sort of perspective did it provide?
It's hard to say. I guess he would just go to the office and we'd be at home. And I guess we did a lot of traveling, saw a lot of different things. I think one thing I think is seeing a lot of the world. It gave me a good perspective on things, I think.
Okay. In I guess I would imagine that it would involve speaking with diverse populations at a very young age. Were you integrated in the school system?
Well, we could have gone to American Embassy schools, but my mom, being Swedish, thought, and not living in America, why go to American schools? So we went to the local schools or the international schools.
What was it like making friends there?
Very easy.
Yeah?
Very easy. Some schools, the Gone International was people from all over the world. I was in Bertha County School for boys, and I was the only white kid in the school. And that was in like a 2-car garage. I was in an army school where we did a lot of marching and standing in assembly. So they were all different. They were all pretty good schools. Most of the places I grew up were British colonies, so the schools were by rote learning.
Memorization.
Memorization, the old discipline was there.
You got rapped on the knuckles if you said something smart.
Caned and rapped. Was normal. Wasn't anything we thought was out of the ordinary, because it's how we grew up. And so when I came here, it was no discipline, no control. So
make a naughty boy out of you, did it?
Yeah, I didn't do too well when I got here.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess the schooling was good, but erratic.
How many languages did you speak in your family?
We spoke English in the family.
Okay.
So my mom tried to have the kids learn English or Swedish, but that never happened.
No.
I went to Swedish school every Saturday. She wanted us to learn her language, but as kids we didn't want to be in school on Saturdays.
Yeah.
So
especially learning words you already had words for.
Right. So no, but yeah. So we spoke English, and wherever we lived was English.
What about so when I was growing up around this area, me and my friends would essentially get on bikes and ride all over and try not to misbehave, but essentially we were off on our own riding bikes. Was growing up similar for you?
Growing up there was no fear. We were outside, and I lived near the airport in Accra, and we roamed with a bunch of kids, and really there was no fear of anything as like growing up today would, I imagine, parents have a lot of concerns about their kids and safety. But no, it was very, very safe, and we could do what we want, run around, and it was nice. I loved it there.
No wild animal encounters or
No,
anything?
in West Africa, there are no big game.
Oh, really?
There's monkeys and snakes and bugs and lots of bugs, but no big elephants or...
How far inland do you have to get for that to be a thing?
You have to go to East Africa for that. West Africa, I guess maybe they used to have some big game, but they have a lot of... tsetse fly was the cause of the cattle not being... So I think the big game is mostly in East Africa and South Africa. But in West Africa, we had the monkeys and the snakes, and not the big animals.
Interesting. Did you go to big game safaris ever? Or?
Well, later on in my dad's career, he was stationed in Mozambique, and so when I visited him there, we went to some game parks, Kruger, and there was a park outside of Lourenco Marx, the city. It was a little game park, so like that. So
Are the sunrises and sunsets different there?
Not that I can't really remember sitting and watching sunsets growing up. No, never. I just remember it would rain like clockwork at 6 o'clock at night, and we were right on the coast, so it was pretty hot and humid, and never got above, maybe average temperature was probably 80, never got like 100 or anything like that, but if it's 80 and humid, you feel hot.
Oh, really?
But it's not like hot like you could get here in like summers in Iowa or something. No,
sure.
No.
Interesting.
But
so then, what transitioned you guys back to the States from Mozambique?
well, I never lived in Mozambique.
You didn't?
I was here. I was already in Holland.
Okay. So you're communicating with your parents from Holland to Mozambique?
Yeah.
As a kid?
I was at Hope College when he was in Mozambique.
Oh, okay.
So the government would pay for one trip a year to see my parents up until I was 21.
Okay.
And then after that, that was it. Then you're on your own as far as...
Do you have any idea how your father became involved with the State Department in the first place?
I think he did a Rotary, well, how he got in the African affairs, he was, Zealand Rotary sent him, he went to Aberystwyth School in Wales, and he met some Ghanaians, West Africans, and got to know them, and that led him in that direction.
Wow.
But he,
through the Rotary?
Zealand Rotary Club, I guess.
Wow.
And there's a funny story, though. They sent him there, and then he came back and gave talks about what he did and so forth. Yeah, and yeah, so it was.
Wow.
What got him interested in foreign affairs work? I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I mean, I just guess I'm putting myself in your dad's shoes. I'm like, how would you even get started with something like that? It's like it's such a clandestine type thing.
History.
It seems.
Yeah, no, he was a career diplomat.
Did he enjoy it? Did he enjoy the work?
Loved it. Yeah. I think there's a big percentage of political appointees, like the president will come in and put his people in place. But then there's also career diplomats that aren't just, it's not a political favor for someone after an election or something.
They're good at the job.
They're in it for their career.
Sure.
Yeah. So.
I'm not, but say I was a young politician or young civil servant or something like that. Is there anything that you specifically learned from, observing your father's work that makes a good diplomat? Well,
I think listening for sure. Being able to see all sides and
being diplomatic.
Yeah, he was, and so I mean, when raising us kids, he wasn't a big disciplinarian. He took the diplomatic approach. So we kind of
Is that to say that diplomacy is the opposite of discipline?
No, I don't know. I can't say.
But somehow they're interconnected, do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. It's
You diplomatically move through an issue rather than pouncing on it and trying to exert your authority.
right.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think getting us to figure out the right route as opposed to imposing it.
And that applies to his political colleagues as well, do you think, perhaps?
Yeah, I guess everyone has a different way of approaching how they do their work. But I think he was a very kind man, and I think he enjoyed his work, and I think his colleagues respected what he did.
So then it would be safe to say perhaps that there's an element of not education, but an educator in diplomacy. Because a lot of times as an educator, you want your pupils to learn for themselves. You're just more or less providing them an environment and the stimulus.
You're the guide.
You're the guide.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see that. I frustrated him totally. So,
you did your job well then, right?
Yeah, I bucked. I guess everyone bucks their parents.
Yeah.
So.
Did you have a theme? What was your?
Well, when I started Hope College, I was political science major, and then when I told them I was switching to art, that was
an issue.
Well, no one wants their kids to have a career that. I mean, they don't. They want you to have it easy, and when you say you want to be an artist, they're like. We better maybe something different. Not that they ever were, but.
Mm-hmm.
So it took a while for me to get them on my side as far as that goes. But no, they were always supportive of.
Was political science going to be the route of a lawyer, or were you just kind of following your father's footsteps?
Well, yeah, I guess trying to follow my sister did. She's in the Foreign Service now. And her husband is in the Foreign Service, so it's someone in the family kept the tradition going.
There we go.
But
you still got the email address.
Yeah, I have a sister who has a nonprofit theater in Colorado Springs with her husband.
Oh, what's it called?
Then my other sister works at Lockheed Martin in Maryland.
What's the nonprofit theater called in Colorado Springs?
Malibu Art Theater.
Cool.
It's right on Tejon Street in Colorado Springs.
I like the sounds of that.
Yeah, it's a great theater. Yeah.
Any sort of idea what sort of productions they're putting on?
No, but I can. Can you turn so I can get you the brochure and you can maybe read it
at the end? I'll put it in. Yeah. I'll clip it in.
Okay.
What was the? Do you remember a series of conversations with your father while you were transitioning to art from political science? Do you remember what the argument you made was? They always thought, you can do art on the side, but have something that brings in so you don't. The classical argument. And I understood that. But you didn't do it. But no. And I don't know how many times I called Dad, I need some money. I'm sure he didn't like that. And he got me into this house, which I wouldn't have now if it weren't for them, my parents. So they were very helpful and supported me all the time. And that's great. Do you remember what the first piece of art was that you sold? I sold. They had a State Department art show, and my dad said, "Oh, you should enter that." It's the first show I ever entered, and so I think I won a little award and sold the painting. All right. I was in high school at the time. Nice. So was the award show in Lansing or was it in Mozambique? No, it was in D.C. In D.C. At the D.C. Of course. It was of course. Only people that were in the Foreign Service could enter. So helped a little, perhaps. That helps. But so he always would help. And you've always been attracted to oil paintings. Yeah, I gather. Mm-hmm. You're an oil. Yeah, I started out collecting comic books with my brother. Me too. Which is how What
how
were your comic books? What were you getting? What were you collecting?
Oh, I was, all the, well, first the pulps, the Dark Shadow, all those, and then the regular Conan and all that kind of stuff. Captain America and the Marvels and.
Oh yeah, because that's more DC.
My brother was very much into it. He had his own fanzine magazine and.
He had his own what magazine?
He had his own kind of magazine, and he interviewed a couple.
He made up his own magazine?
He had his own fanzine, I guess they call it.
Yeah, fanzine, yeah.
And he hung out with, he knew I don't know, like Frazetta and Bernie Wrightson and these people he would interview. And I remember once I was home and he was doing a article about artist Steranko, who had known Houdini, and somehow through Houdini, James Earl Jones somehow was connected and called I was living at home, and this guy calls up and says, "This is Peter DePree there, this is James Earl Jones," and I thought it was a joke, so I hung up. And then my brother comes, "What the hell did you do hanging up?" Well, he called back, and my brother got the interview, but anyway, I almost messed it up for him. I thought it was a joke, a crank call or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
I just picture a big old baritone bass voice on the other end of the... What do you mean?
So I almost blew it for my brother on that one, but yeah.
Who else did he interview? How long do you have the fanzine? That's great.
He interviewed a few people. I can show you the articles.
Sure.
I have all his stuff. He's passed on. So
is there an archive? Can you listen to
he was a writer, so he did a lot of writing, like for Qantas Air magazine, and like that, and then he did the Argosy magazine and like that, Comic World magazines and stuff.
Yeah,
he would put articles in and like that. So
I heard one time that the pen is the antenna to heaven. A writer said that.
Oh, okay. No. But I used to collect comics with him, but. Do
you write at all?
No.
You're not much of a writer?
No.
You write with your paintbrush?
I just paint, yeah. And he would do airbrush work. He was very good at airbrush and, doing cartooning and he's a very good illustrator.
He skateboard too? That would be the
he was an architect.
Architect?
He never got a degree in architecture, but he was good at it. So these firms would hire him to do drawings. He'd do site drawings and stuff for them. That was
unlicensed architect.
Yeah. So
you just have to find one person with a license, and then it's all good.
Right. So so he didn't make the money that professional architects would make, but that's what.
But he got to do the work.
He did the work. Yeah.
That's probably more important, I would suspect.
Yeah.
When you're working with oil paintings, I'm not sure how to say this, but do you get inspiration from classical oil painters, or do you have your own techniques?
I have my favorites every day, and they change, I swipe a lot from all artists that I can, and
steal like an artist.
But I guess it started with comics, and then my sister was like, "Oh, you don't know who Matisse is or who any of these, all you know are comic book artists." And she was right. I was in, junior high. And then when I got to college and started taking art history courses, I started to look at, and go to the museums and so forth. But up through high school, and it was the comics. And
what have you learned about oil painting that would not be obvious from an amateur's point of view? When you look at an oil painting that you did, or that a master of the ancient age did, what do you see?
Well, there's a lot. I'm basically more self-taught than.
Do you look at brush strokes? Do you look at color? Do you look at layers? Do you look at?
You always want to know how they got that.
Right.
How did they do that? but I have a tough time sticking. I'm sort of ADD kind of in a way, so I have a tough time. So everything's new. So with technique and glazes and stuff and the science of it,
Right.
I don't follow. I'm more paint out of the tube quick, and as far as the science of glazing and maybe not, I'm not technically good at that kind of painting. But
Is that by choice, or is it just very challenging to do, or just unnecessary, perhaps?
No, I just haven't. Yeah, maybe I'm not interested, and I'll find my own way. I prefer. Yeah, and then a lot of it too is that you do want to do work that will survive and not fall apart. Someone's going to spend money, so you do have an obligation to be as archivally solid as you can be. But then again, if that's gonna be on your mind while you're working, then you have to just do what you want to do. It's up to the curator to keep it together. If it dies and yeah, everything has a life, and if it's going to be short life, that's fine. If it's going to be a long life, whether someone will take care of the art and keep it alive, or whether it's going to fall apart on its own, everything will have its time.
Is taking care of the art and keeping it alive a metaphor for keeping it on the wall?
Or well, no, I mean like more or less like if artists shouldn't have to worry about whether this is like plexiglass will yellow. Things will change, and I don't know that the artist has to make sure that everything is so. I mean, the materials you use, if you work with like something that's going to disappear, and then it's only the recording of it that lasts, then that's still okay, I guess. I mean,
sure, yeah. What comes to mind when you say that is the sand drawings that I've seen with the grains of colored sand, the Buddhist monks doing that.
It's gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think it's got to be one of the highest forms of art to not care about it's a moment in time. It's the journey rather than the destination.
Right.
Music, for instance, I've heard musicians say that they think of it as painting time. It's kind of beautiful. What other? So you've clearly stated you're an oil painter. What other types of art do you respect and admire and seek out to experience?
Sculpture, I would think, would be my next.
What is it that you like about sculpture?
That it's the three-dimensional, walk around it, and more the painting being illusionary, and the sculpture being more real. I think it has more of a reality to it. There's that tricksterness to the painting that, and not necessarily. I mean, it can be an object in itself, where it's not its own thing, but. For most of history, it's been replicating some other thing.
It's interesting you'd say painting is a trickster type of, because it is.
It very much is, I think. Dealing with how you see and how you trying to make other people see.
Right. Yeah, because eyes pick up colors differently in the light and the reflections and what it's next to and all those things. Everyone
sees color differently, I would imagine. And it's just how we name things.
Yeah.
And
well, that's an interesting thing to say. What do you mean by that? It's how we name things.
Like if you see something, like when you look at say if you see a sky is blue, maybe maybe when you see it, it's red, but you've been told that the name of it is blue. And so whenever you see that color, it's called blue to you, and to me, it's red. And I always have called it that. But we're seeing the same thing. We're just naming it different, but we'll never know. So
Very philosophical of you.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, yeah.
So
That's why I was asking you, because it seems like
yeah.
it would be easy for me to put my own spin on, but I don't
Well,
want
that's
to.
like when I think of red and the colors that I can buy in the store, and this red is much more expensive than that red. I'll have to admit, when I look at the reds, I can't tell if you put them out on the palette which one is the better red. I don't have that. There are people that can do that, and but I don't know. I don't have that ability to.
Red's the newest comb in the eye in development terms. Blue and green were there first.
Okay.
And then the ripening fruit created the red combs so that it could indicate when it was ready, and then
Okay.
it's the newest one. I paint a lot myself. It's mostly homes, but I like painting on canvases as well. Mm-hmm. And what I notice is those light greens fade into white real quick. Mm-hmm. For me, after about a day of painting green, it turns to white.
Okay.
And I can't, and especially if the sun is just right. Yeah, I don't know. Have you ever tried sculpting? Have you ever?
Well, in school, of course, when the required courses I took, but and I took glass blowing and sculpture and ceramics, and so, but never got into it enough where it took off with it.
Okay.
I've always kind of
Oxbow?
stuck with painting.
Did you make it to Oxbow? Much?
No, I've never been to Oxbow. In fact, someone I knew from Maryland went to Oxbow and wanted me to come for lunch, and they wouldn't let me. I had to wait in the parking lot for her to come out because they wouldn't let me on the property. I've never even seen Oxbow.
They can be.
No.
I'll take you.
Yeah, I've never been on the grounds.
Oh, well, that's
Yeah, I think you have to take classes to be there.
Well, you got they're that way. You gotta ask nicely.
Yeah.
The right person you gotta ask the right person nicely.
No, they wouldn't let me.
Oh,
But yeah,
I'll bet you I can get you in there.
okay. No, I've known about Oxbow, but yeah, I guess like living in Holland, it's like living in D.C. I never went to the monument.
Right, so close.
It's close, you don't go. No, but I've my sister, who is an artist, and she wanted to take classes at Oxbow, but she passed on before she had a chance to do that. But she had even signed up for classes. But yeah.
What type of art was she practicing?
She's the one who did the ceramics.
Oh, the ceramics.
Yeah.
You mentioned that.
She,
Okay. Did she do all these?
She did those. In fact, well, she did all the ceramic, but I had a design from all what was left over. So it's not really, this isn't her design. It's just all her tiles that I had a limited amount of different tiles, and this is what I could come up with.
That's nice.
I still have to fix this and put those two on, but yeah.
There's
down the
always
road.
something.
Down the road. Yeah, so.
So, do you now you're living in Holland? Mm-hmm. Do you still have the travel bug, or did?
I do travel. Well, yeah, I always love to travel. But the last place I went was, my sister was in Jordan, and she invited me to go see her, and for a couple of weeks. So a year ago, I went to see her in Jordan, and then before my folks passed away, we went to Sweden to see her family.
What part?
3 hours north of Stockholm, a town called Sandviken.
Okay.
Sandvik Tools. They're big in steel.
Really?
And they do a lot. Well, the Sandvik was in Sandviken, but now it's in Stockholm. But they do all the inside tubes for nuclear power plants and stuff. So it's a high end. They do a lot of high end steel work.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was a little town the size of like Zeeland or Holland, but that was the main industry in the town, and that's where my mom grew up.
Okay.
But now that there's nothing there anymore. The company moved to Stockholm, and all my cousins that lived there moved to Stockholm. So I don't know, the town is there, but I don't know.
It's a remnant of what it was.
It's none of my family are there anymore.
I see.
Yeah.
What's the, in contrasting from Michigan, America, what would you say is characterizes the Swedish culture? What's the contrast?
Oh, they're much more open, much more liberal. Now it's changing. Now right now it's they have the highest problems with guns in Europe.
Really?
And they have a lot of problem with kids and gangs and guns.
Oh.
But it's very homogenized. I mean, it's a small country, and I think they didn't have any immigrants until the Vietnam War. Then soldiers came to Stockholm, and that's, I think, the first time they had foreigners move in. And now the migration problem, like in all of Europe, is causing trouble, like in Germany, and it's the same in Sweden. And so I guess it's easy to be tolerant until you're tested. So I think the country now is having to come to grips with that. But I think they'll do well. They'll do better than we do, I think. But yeah, I think
they're being tested a little bit right now, it seems.
I think the whole Europe is being tested with all this migration, and I'm hoping that we can all realize that we're all together in this.
What do you think it would take for that? I mean, it's a nice thing
like
to
you say, the travel bug. I think travel is a way to open people's empathy in a way. See that, well, it's hard to hate people if you've been there and have seen them live there, and it becomes more real, and it's not some, I don't know. I think if you travel a little bit, you'll be able to have a little bit more. Yeah, I realize there's two different, a lot of ways of looking at things. So, yeah, it's hard to explain, but you can travel around and be an ugly tourist and not learn a thing. But I think it's hard.
It's harder than not. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it can change. People change people, and I think that's what it takes. Is interaction.
Sure.
People,
community
that aren't from where you are, and then you're more able to, I think, put yourself in their shoes and understand where they're coming from a little bit more. I think.
So, would it be fair to say that the three main cultures that you've been immersed in are West African, Swedish, and
yeah, I would
North
say
American?
less than West, more of the Foreign Service community, because it is like a family. If you're in the Foreign Service, it's a family thing, kind of like. But yeah, paint. And, yeah, I was a big partier growing up. Yeah,
me too.
So,
still am.
yeah, so that, I think, as far as, I think when I came to the U.S., I was, and I still am, sort of green. And I was raised a little bit, well, sheltered. And so when I came to the U.S., I was really gullible. I still am in a lot of ways. And yeah, I think I was a lot of fun for a lot of the kids.
Teasing.
But I think the culture shock for me was from East Coast to West Michigan more than it was from Africa to DC.
Wow. Really?
Yeah, because the school that I went to in Maryland was an international school too, kids from all over. And when I grew up, there wasn't any. I did not know that there was a problem with race. I didn't. My parents didn't mention it. Didn't know about it. Had no idea about the race situation in the U.S. We didn't have TV in Africa. I wasn't told about it. I had no idea, and I really wasn't aware of where American society had been before I got there. And so when I got to the U.S., I really was clueless on its history.
Interesting.
So it was, the school I went to was very liberal and wild, and I just fell right into all of that. And I think McGovern was running against Nixon at the time, was in the 70s, early 70s, and D.C. was a pretty liberal, wide, open place. And so it was a lot of the same as what I was used to with as far as how the kids were. And then when I came to Michigan, it was not as many. It was more homogenized. So
wasn't quite as integrated.
Yeah, it was.
Well, how would you, if you could like zoom back to when you were 17 or 16 when you moved back here? Is that the right timeline?
Yeah, I was.
Did you have, can you recall having any sort of like thoughts or like, I guess, internalized advice, you know, like, why are you guys doing it like this? This is so strange. We weren't mean back there. You guys are here in the United States. Why are you being so mean to each other? Do you remember like?
Well, I think in Africa it was kids stuck together because you had, you were like, I don't know. The bullying, I think it's, I didn't have any bullying in Africa at all. None. Only when I came to the U.S., but that seemed to be everywhere, and not only me.
Yeah.
It was just the way of things.
I mean, in a lot of ways,
I think kids can be cruel. So, yeah, I think it's everywhere, actually.
Yeah. This country is essentially settled by bullies in a way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. My sisters went to boarding schools in Swaziland, and it was like being hazed the whole time they were there.
For them?
Yeah.
But not for you.
I was already, they were younger than me.
Uh-huh.
So when my dad was in Mozambique, they were in school in Swaziland in boarding schools.
Wow.
So all of us grew up a little differently. I had one sister grew up at a school called Woodstock in northern India, and then her daughter even just graduated from the same school because she was in the Foreign Service and was stationed in India for a while. So, no, that's wrong. When my parents were in Bangladesh, my sister was in school in India at that time, and instead of being in school in Bangladesh. Yeah, so that's how she ended up in India. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Bangladesh. What is that now? Is Bangladesh still got the same name? Is it?
Yeah,
Was it?
they're just. It was. I guess. I don't know if they called it East Pakistan.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Bangladesh. So yeah.
Yeah, right.
So he was there in the 80s.
Okay.
Before he retired, that was his last post. Was Bangladesh.
Have you ever heard of the book Raj? R-A-J. It's about female monarchy within the Indian. I want to say caste system, but that's probably not the right word. And how she's betrothed during the British occupation.
Okay.
And there's 3 books in this book. You know, it's a big book, and it's chronological. And the first book is about her young childhood, being in these. They're not harems, but they're close. Mm-hmm. They're all kind of like removed and set aside from the rest of the culture, and they have. It's very interesting. But Barums, Barams or something. There's a word that describes
I've heard that before. Brahman.
Yeah, that's a caste, but it's similar to that, and it's a fascinating book.
Yeah.
About their opinions of the British culture in British occupied India. Mm-hmm. And man, they really got a hold of that area. Just
yeah, that's my sisters tell me it's great. I'd love to visit.
I bet it's so colorful and vibrant, and I bet the smells are just like nothing else.
Yeah, she loved it there. And that's why she got her daughter to go to the same school, because she had such a good time there. So when her daughter graduated, I think 2 years ago that was high school. Now she's in college in Virginia now. But when my sister went to see her daughter graduate, they both gave a talk at the reception, or what do you call it? The graduation ceremony. The ceremony, yeah.
Yeah. So I wanted to say matriculation, but that's not it. That's
so yeah. So it's. I think the traveling. I think is very, very helpful to.
So when you're traveling, how do you make sure that you're not an ugly tourist? You know, like you said, what do you do? How do you get in there?
Yeah, you can go and see a place and kind of get an idea of what it's like, but until you go shopping, pay rent, have a job, have to be there, deal with what they deal with, I don't think you ever really know. So being a tourist, yeah, it's great to see the world in that way, but I don't think you really know. If you go somewhere and live there for some time, then I think you get a much better understanding of what. I mean, because a lot of living in a place is your hopes and dreams and what you can attain, and an American there, yeah, you can see all sorts of possibilities that those people don't have when you're there. Oh, this would be great to do this and this and this, but no, they can't do any of that. It's not set up that way. So in that sense, yeah, and the expectations of tourists too can be a little bit over the top. And what they expect, you can't bring your country with you and expect it all to be there the way you've been enjoying things. So yeah, I think it's a learning experience, and I think wherever you go, you get used to it, and you get you can be comfortable anywhere. It's just a matter of getting into that situation.
Probably for like a year or two, 6 months at least.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Yeah, because when you think about you see African huts and stuff, and you go, "Oh, I couldn't live like that." But if you've been in one and see how clean they are, and the floors are like clay, smooth, just beautiful.
I've heard.
So, yeah, I think until you see it with your own eyes, the perception can easily be distorted, especially when all you're hearing is, oh, famine, starving, this, that, and then they're showing you images that want to tug at your heartstrings. So then you get an idea of, no, if you go there, it's everything is wonderful. I mean, it's a great place. I'd live there. I would love to go back. Yeah, but yeah,
I think unfortunately the starvation and the precious minerals kind of
it's
play
so
hand
sad
in hand
with the cobalt now in Congo and all the
lithium mines. Yeah, it's I don't think that it's a natural lack of resources. I think it's manipulated that way to.
Well, Africa has everything it needs.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It just needs to be shown the right way, and the corruption's built in everywhere, and understandable the way things are set up. But until all that can change a little bit.
Yeah, I've heard people speak about the maps, the just arbitrary nature of the delineations, the lines, within Africa. They were all European inventions. There's no geography that backs up a lot of these artificial.
And those problems come back to bite us.
Yeah.
Like the line they drew between India and Pakistan. It's just some arbitrary guy decided. I think that's the problem now with this peace treaty with Ukraine and Russia is where that line goes, what villages it goes through, how it's so,
it's a lot
so
of it.
sad. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was doing a little bit of research in the Israel-Hamas conflict, and it comes down to gardening. The Hamas people, through whatever circumstances, had been there in the area for generations. A lot of them, the details are murky, but they were. And when the Israelites came back, they wanted to make the desert bloom. And they were irrigating orange crops in the desert, whereas the Hamas folks were using sustainable agricultural practices. And when the Israelites came back in the first place, they took all the water.
Oh, okay.
And then that's how the conflict got started. It's essentially gardening.
Yeah,
in a way.
When I was in Jordan, it was sad to see my sister. We were driving north to I think the name of the town was Koresh. It was a Roman ruin place, a tourist site, of course. So on the way out of Amman, my sister said, "We're going to pass a refugee camp. Keep an eye for it. It'll be on the right." And so we take the highway north towards Syria, and I'm looking for tents. And then she goes, "There it is." And I'm like, "No, that looks like New York City." Concrete blocks, satellite dishes hanging all over the place, high rises, sidewalk, the streets, it didn't look like a camp. It looked like a permanent city. And that's how long they've been there, since the 40s, late 40s. And in Jordan, half the population is Palestinian or refugees. And now we want them to take more. It's not sustainable. It's not up to us to tell other countries what to do. So, yeah.
That'd be nice if it was true.
I shouldn't be talking politics now. Sorry.
Yeah, right, of course.
We'll have to edit all that out.
Yeah. Well, I'm partisan.
Okay.
Proudly partisan. He's good on both sides in ways sometimes, but we're going through a weird time right now. There's just no way around it. Unprecedented.
It's a very scary time.
Yeah.
I hope we pull through.
Yeah, well, what is it? You just said you don't know until you're tested. I mean, there's...
Yeah, well, what's sad to me is that it's come to this. I really am shocked that the public is willing to put up with what so far it's put up with. It's ridiculous.
They're so busy. Public's so busy. They're so busy.
It bothers me that it's the price of eggs that makes such a big difference.
That's what gets people out of bed.
That seems to be the key.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that right there is pretty much it as far as how I look at what makes us mad. Seems so. I mean, we've been having this war for a year, 14 months, and we don't get angry until the price of eggs goes up. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Edit that too. Sorry.
Well, it's well said. I think it would be safe to say that the youth of America, of North America's, age has something to do with our lack of community. I would think, and I guess I'm teeing up more of a question rather than a statement. Have you seen through your travels better examples of community? How to form community, how to keep community, how to foster.
for how poor Sierra Leone, well, I lived in Sierra Leone and Ghana mostly. For how poor the people were, how happy they were. Seriously happy people. And I don't ever remember anyone crying or whining about their situation. Women would walk around with loads on their back or carrying on their top of their head and whistling straight back and hard life, but somehow very happy people. Amazing.
You say straight back?
Just
straight back people?
Very,
Yeah, I get
the
it.
amount of stuff they would have to carry, a little cloth wrapped around and then walk so regally and whistling. Yeah, it was impressive how people had to live and what they had to do to stay alive. It's amazing. And I think in a lot of ways, if you're all in the same boat, you pull together. And I think that created the community that they needed to survive, I suppose. I mean, you all chip in together because I think you're a lot more helpful when you know you might be next. Mm-hmm. You can be a lot more kind. You're all in the same boat, so you all help each other, I think. It's people are a lot more generous in a way. There wasn't so much, I don't know, the rat race, I guess. I'm sure it's different now. We didn't have computers. They didn't know what they were missing, is how I looked at it. Because when growing up, we didn't have TV, we didn't have this, we didn't have that. I didn't miss any of that because I didn't know it was there. Now, had I been there when they could see on I don't know computers, so whatever, the YouTube or whatever, you could see what you were missing or what everyone else had, like in Malibu or wherever. Well, now they have that. Maybe that's why they're all coming here now. I don't know. Maybe they would have come here in the 60s had they known what they were missing, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that, I mean, I think a lot of the migration, I think a lot of it is just economic. People want a better life for their families, and why should we stop them? We came. Everyone here that's here. So, yeah, it seems to me that there shouldn't be any. We're all on this planet. We should be able to go and work and live wherever we want on the planet. That's how I feel about it, and I know that it's But the way people can travel and move around the world today, I don't even know why it should be one world thing.
I think it's the comparison of each other that really gets us in a bad place. It's insidious.
I don't know why we feel if someone else has something we don't.
Yeah.
There's enough for everyone.
Yeah.
There's no reason. I mean, I think by now we should have figured out how to feed and house everyone on this planet. That should be our main goal. I don't know why it isn't.
Well, I think we've figured it out. I think we're choosing not to at this point.
Yeah.
I think we could easily do it. We're just choosing not to because it drives the economy.
We have the resources to make it a better world.
Oh, way better.
So
it's better for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But then they get bored and ornery. Yeah. Then they don't try and help anybody else. Like, what's the problem here, man? You got all.
Yeah, I think it is true. You get comfortable, and you can't blame anyone, really. I don't know. It's just no one's really. I think inherently people aren't bad people. Most people, 99% aren't bad. It's just.
Conveniently clueless. Yeah. Sometimes.
Yeah, I everyone just has their own stuff to deal with, and I think that takes up everyone's life. And I don't know that.
I mean, shelter. Shelter is more expensive than it's ever been.
Yeah,
and it's really all you get. It's not like it's all you're getting. Bigger house is still the same as a little house.
Yeah.
Keeps the wind off you.
That's the move to tiny houses would be great, but I think that was a fad that came and went. But
yeah, they've got
they tried it. I think a while back I was hearing a lot more about it than I am now, but it's a good idea. We don't need what they call the McMansion.
yeah. It's a lot to clean.
Yeah, and a lot of materials to make for nothing for one family. Yeah, there should be like a footprint law where you go over the footprint, you pay more. If you want to live that way extravagantly, then it should cost. But yeah, it's the disparity between rich and poor is just incredibly. They say it's more now than during the Belle Epoque, during the railroad times and the railroad barons. They say the disparity between rich and poor is greater now than it was then.
Well, I would suspect so because we're on a fiat currency instead of the gold standard. There's just an unlimited supply. It used to be condensed. It used to be real. It's not real anymore. It's just numbers.
Oh, I'm not I don't know economy, but yeah, I know Trump and they're going to go to the Fort Knox and make sure.
I can give after World War II to settle the dispute. They put all of the world's gold in the United States, and then France had coupons. Japan had coupons. Europe had coupons, and you could turn in your gold coupons, and then the U.S. would send you gold. And France did that so much that the United States is like, whoa, enough of that. You will still give you money, but we're not giving you gold. You can have dollars, but we're not giving you the gold anymore.
Okay.
So that's how the world got on the U.S. dollar standard, is because we essentially pooled all the gold together after World War II. But then it started getting dispersed. So that's how it got on the dollar standard. And right now, there's a big problem. Well, not a problem, but at least a conflict with the thing called BRICS. Have you heard of BRICS? It's an acronym. Brazil, Russia, India, China,
that's right.
Spain, I think it is.
Okay.
And they're trying to create a competing currency. Because as it stands right now, the U.S. can just print dollars. No gold. Doesn't have to have gold behind it. That's why they're going to Fort Knox. See how much gold there's actually there.
Oh, okay.
Might be some, might be none.
Right.
And if you can move the world over to a different standard, like BRICS, they can print their own money, do whatever they want, tell other people, well, you got to use our, currency to buy and sell your things, like the U.S. has been doing since the 60s, 70s, something like that. For 40 years, it was illegal for United States citizens to privately own gold.
Really?
It was all in Fort Knox. It was like a $10,000 fine in the 70s.
Wow, I didn't know that. Yeah, because they say buy gold now because it's like $3,000 an ounce or something. That
couldn't even buy it back in the day if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Now you can.
Now it's in the Bitcoin thing now and the meme.
Oh, yeah.
It's so complex. I don't understand. I can't grab my mind around any of it.
Well, it's Bitcoin is it's math essentially, and by using it's cryptocurrency because of the crypto part of it. And currency, everybody knows what currency is, but the cryptography of it is what makes it unique, and its claim to fame is that it's decentralized, which means that the United States government can't really mess with it. Same way Russia can't really mess with it. China can't really nobody can really mess with it because there's no centralized place to mess with.
Okay.
It's decentralized. So there's no, like, let's say you got a hold of this one node and you manipulated it, the other ones would take over and fix the problem. So you'd need to have global collusion.
So that would be, yeah.
Good
See,
luck.
what I don't understand is it costs so much electricity to have that. So, and now energy is such a big problem. Why are we going in that direction?
Well,
to make it
I think it's because that's what's gonna, in their minds, that's what's gonna drive innovation. They're pretty cold. They're pretty close to cold fusion.
Yeah.
Getting more power out than you need. But if you don't need more power, you're not gonna spend the money to figure out how to do fission.
Right.
If everything's good with coal, you don't figure out nuclear.
Right.
If everything's good with nuclear, you don't figure out fission.
Oh, I'm just so behind.
Well, it's fission's essentially you get more power than you
put in.
Yeah. It's a loophole. It's the same way the telephones work. Telephones work through transistors. Transistors like a little mini.
Yeah, they said they did the fusion, but it's too small yet. But they just have to scale it up.
Yeah.
And so it has been done.
It has been done.
So it's just a matter of getting it to go.
Yeah, and like with have you heard of quantum computers?
Yeah, that's the next whole. They had something on PBS about it. It blew my mind.
Well, the big thing with that is the temperature. They need to be really, 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 really cold.
Yeah,
and they're getting better at that too.
And then they showed this place that they built like miles underground, so they could hear microwave sounds because they had to be in the middle of the earth to not get this distortion.
Isn't that wild?
So yeah, I just like, well, yeah, way above my pay scale.
Yeah,
that stuff. I was like,
and then some people think we've already been here before. Some people think this is the second time we found it. That the pyramids were created thousands
I was
of
at
years.
the Outsider Museum in Baltimore, and they have a whole section of where we were living on Mars, and then we came here, and then it's like, and they had all this proof.
Conveniently,
You have to go. It's a great museum. It's
what is it?
It's in Baltimore. It's the Outsider Museum. They got a big whirligig, and it's all outsider art stuff. But it's it's right on the waterfront, and it's a beautiful building, old big red brick building, and they've got great shows there. It's very kid friendly. Yeah. And the Kids Museum in Baltimore is great too, the science place. Yeah, Baltimore is a pretty cool city.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't spent much time there.
Considering all the crime and everything.
Yeah, I've heard it's dangerous.
It's got some nice stuff there. It's a good. I love Baltimore.
Yeah.
So,
what are some other art towns that you frequent?
Well, actually, I don't know. I don't really.
No.
No.
Yeah,
I try to see art wherever I go, but yeah, as far as art towns, no, I don't know.
Well, what is it in Tennessee? They've got Aramount, isn't it?
Yeah, they have Black Mountain, and my sister always tells me that there's Penland and these places that I have to. Yeah. She thinks I should get into one of these kind of places, but I have a tough time even writing a school book report.
Same here. It's interesting that they make artists go through standardized testing and the standard application process rather than something clever.
But my sister can get blood out of a turnip with these grants and programs. She knows how to, and she's good at it. And with her theater and stuff, you have to be able to write these things up and stuff. She's very good at it. But me, I'm the opposite. I can't do that kind of.
Yeah.
You have to, proposal. It has to benefit the community. I just want to sit in my studio and paint. So, yeah.
That's why galleries exist, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm socially active as an artist. There's that. I'm not that type of artist.
So you're in the Button Gallery in Saugatuck, correct?
Correct, yes. Mm-hmm.
And you've been there for quite some time?
No, just a year.
Oh, just a year.
Yeah, I was in Good Goods in Saugatuck for a few years before that, and but they closed.
Yep.
And that was a great gallery to be in, but I'm sorry they had to close. And then
Time March
I'm glad to be in the Button now.
In Douglas.
In Douglas.
With the big blue dog.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That thing's cool.
That's been great. To be able to transition from one to the other. It's been good.
Let's see. Without let's see. I want to make sure this is a positive question. What have you learned by working with galleries? And what does a good gallery do? What does a good gallery? How do galleries help artists? What
Well, just being there is helpful because I think a lot of artists, maybe some are, but I think most aren't very good at business, and it's not in the same sort of wheelhouse, I guess you call it. But
ilk?
I think they can talk up your work. They can. Usually, the owners will know how it fits in history, and I personally am pretty shy, so I have a hard time talking about my work, and it's nice to have someone that will do that business aspect of it. It's hard to put a price on your paintings. It's hard to ask for money. It's hard to expect anything, so it's nice to not have that part of it. And every gallery I've been in has been very supportive of what I do, and
Do you find there to be a difference between galleries that focus on a particular medium? Like Good Goods had so many different.
Yeah, I think Good Goods was a craft shop. They had a lot of different things. It wasn't just an art gallery. They had sold clothes and so forth, but it was more of a craft emporium. It had a lot of nice things in there. The gallery I'm in now is more of a gallery. I think they're all different. They all have different clienteles, cater to different tastes. I think galleries change like restaurants with their menus and who they're showing. I think the gallery is, they're in a predicament. They might like certain works. They might not be able to sell certain works. It depends on the clients. So I think it's tough for them. I think it's tough to teach people that it's okay to buy art. And it's not...
What do you think makes an art buyer?
I think if you like something, and I think a lot of people buy art to support the artist, maybe, or they simply just like the work and want to live with it. I'm thankful that people would want to hang my work up, so it's nice. It keeps you going. It keeps you working.
If you were a young artist, what advice would you want to hear?
Oh, don't give up. Because I'm not giving up yet either.
Determination.
I mean, it's not been a living for me, but I've always enjoyed it, and if it was for money, I would have quit a long time ago. So I do it because I love it, and
what is the what would you attribute your ability to do that? To do something you love rather than for money?
I don't think I can do anything else, really. I'm not. I wasn't very good in school as far as things. So it was where I felt the most comfortable and felt like I was doing something that was worthwhile. That you can leave something behind. It's a selfish profession in a lot of ways, but in a lot of ways it isn't too, I think. But it is sort of selfish to think you can sit there and do what you want when everyone else has to go out there and work.
Yeah.
But
you do. But you make it happen.
You have to. Yeah, you just do it, and
See how the cards fall.
Yeah. I'm sure there's, yeah. It's the reward is in the doing. Everything, if you enjoy it, stay with it. If you quit, you quit. You don't. I mean, that's okay. If you don't, I mean, follow another dream.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's something you like, don't let anyone tell you to stop.
Mm-hmm. How many pieces do you typically have going at a time?
I usually have like 10 going, and I kind of rotate them.
Mm-hmm.
Because with oil, it takes a while to dry, and then and I get stuck or something, and then want to go somewhere. I'll try another. I'll work on this one for a while because this one's going nowhere, or like that.
Mm-hmm.
So usually I'll work on a few all at once. I'm never on just one painting till it's done. I never know when they're done. Sort of. Yeah, I'm still learning. I'm still not sure where it all will end up, but I still think I'm not there yet as far as what I'm. Every time I get in front of a canvas, it's like I'm starting over.
That's got to be the greatest feeling, right?
Yeah, but you'd think after now it would be a little easier, but it isn't. It doesn't get easier. In a way, it gets harder. In a way, it's easier. Yeah.
Do you have a personal methodology for when you begin a new painting ever, or does it just kind of happen?
Well, I usually have all stages going. I'll have canvases that I'm stretching wood, stretching canvas. I've got frames. I've got it all stages. So it's sort of one big rotation.
So once another canvas becomes ready or available, I suppose that's when you start thinking about what you're gonna.
Well, like I'll always be building canvases. Like in the corner, there's 2 that I have to stretch yet. And then there'll be some that are ready to go, oh, well, I'll show you my studio so you kind of see how it's set up.
And we can smoke some weed.
I got one dried upstairs you got to see. Well, my sister and her boyfriend went to Bhutan.
Oh, yeah, the happiest place in the world.
They did a trek through Bhutan.
Mm-hmm.
And
recently? Did they go with a group?
This was in the 80s.
Oh, okay.
Late 80s.
Okay.
So they went on this trek. And Yisep Yering was their tour guide, and he was the only, his wife was the operator for the phone, the only operator in the whole country. I mean, it's a small country,
right.
And very few tourists. You have to pay at the time in the 80s, it was $200 a day just to be there. Whoa. So that per diem, per day, yeah. So she went there and went on a trek with this Yisep Yering, and then, I'm going to come to America and visit. He had a book with all these business cards of all the people he had taken on treks that he was going to be allowed to stay with when he came to the United States. So he came, and he was sitting in my sister's kitchen, and everyone he called said, no, you can't come. So he ended up staying with my sister for 6 weeks. And his uncle was an artist and painted a maquette that was going to be a tile work for one of the palaces. This prince was going to marry 4 women. Well, anyway, this was a maquette for the tile that was going to go in one of the palaces. So he had it rolled up, and he was going to give it to this oil baron from Texas that had been dating Fergie. In fact, he left Bhutan and had lunch with Fergie, with the Queen. And this guy came to D.C., and he was cooking really hot food, and he didn't know how to use a stove and everything, and he had just had lunch with the Queen and everything. So anyway, he was going to give this painting to this oil baron guy that had dated Fergie, but then he decided that, oh no, the guy will just throw it in his closet. I'll give it to you instead. So he gave me this.
He gave it to you?
Yeah, he gave me this drawing.
Still have it?
I have it. I'll show it to you. It's upstairs. But it was a painting his uncle had done. It was a maquette for.
So what's a maquette?
It's like the model.
Okay.
A little model, like an architect will make a little model for. So this is a. It's. I think it's watercolor or tempera or something. Whatever it is, it's on canvas, and that was. If I go to Bhutan, I want to go to the palace and see the tile of this. It's like a dragon. It's a dragon, but I'm never going to get to Bhutan.
Oh, you just might.
No, but what was funny about it, his friend from Bhutan was there with my sister, and they're very short people. These two were anyway. They're short. So his friend came from Bhutan. He had something. They were on their way to New York to get these school books published for their public school. So that's why he was there. So
Bhutanese public school?
For the Bhutanese public schools. So they were on their way. They were going to take the train and go up to New York. So they both come. They had bought these lime green, like the Michelin coats, they were puffed up with all that.
Yeah.
And then they had sombreros. So, and they're really short guys. And my sister and her boyfriend, no. You can't be going up to New York dressed like that. You guys could get mugged. And he pulls out a knife out of his.
Try it.
Out of the back of his pants. No, we're ready. So they got on. We took them to Union Station. They got on the train in those coats and hats, and we looked at them. Oh no! But they made it back. But that we just thought that was very funny.
Was she in Bhutan to research their happiness ethos?
No. She just went to. She loved. They have a lot of, I don't know what, bougainvillea hanging on. It's just beautiful hike.
I see.
She's a naturalist.
Oh,
she loves
I understand.
Flowers, plants, bugs, and so they just went. My folks were living in Bangladesh, so they went to visit my folks and then did this trek. So
sounds lovely.
And I stayed in D.C. and took care of their house.
And party.
Yeah. And went through her stash. I went through her boyfriend's stash. So they come all the way back from Bhutan, and he's looking for his stash. I said, no, we found. Oh, he was. What can you imagine?
Oh yeah, I can't imagine. As a matter of fact,
he's ready. No.
Yeah, where's what I've been waiting for?
He was pissed.
Get you more. We'll get you more.
I go, Karen, you can't put me in your house and then expect me not to go through every drawer.
Yeah, right. How's that work?
When I'm jonesing. So yeah.
Let's be real here.
Yeah. So anyway, So I never went to Bangladesh or no. I never had the money to visit my folks after the government paid up until I was 21. Wherever my parents were, I would get one trip a year to see them, which I took advantage of up until but after that, then it was like, and my parents weren't going, hey, Tom, we'll pay for a plane ticket for you to come see us. And yeah, I could have visited had I saved the money. But I never did.
Yeah. Keeping yourself busy in D.C.
Yeah, I was having a good time, so... Yeah, I love D.C. It's a great place.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, lovely time. She used to live down Cleveland Park on Colorama. In fact, real close to where Obama has his house now.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, but they were just renting.
Sure.
Yeah, but it was a nice little area. Yeah, so... Yeah, she was on U Street for a while. That was great. That part of town is really cool. It was especially cool back in the 50s and 60s, but it's still a nice place, nice area. And a pretty famous American artist, Sam Gilliam, had his studio on that street, and I was able, back then, was able to meet him.
Oh, yeah?
And got a couple of his works, which one is that one up there.
What was that like? What was he like?
Oh, that was like meeting it. My God, it's
Yeah.
like a baseball hero meeting Mickey Mantle or someone. It's like wow. I think my mouth hung.
A little starstruck.
Yeah, but he was such a nice guy. My sister's boyfriend was his contractor and worked on his house in the neighborhood. And so I went over to his house, and his kitchen was painted purple.
Yeah.
But every face of every counter was a different color purple. So there was like 63 different shades of purple. So, 'cause this would be one color, this would be one color, but it was all different shades of purple. And then the floor in the kitchen was like you shake those things up and the snow falls, like that kind of
Snow
thing.
globe.
So it was like the kitchen floor was that thick, and it looked like a Jackson Pollock painting. Like he took all those colors and threw them on the ground, but the floor was that thick, so you could see that. You know what I mean? It was like cool. So cool. And then he had a room with he collected toy tin cars. So he had this kind of a tree stand. It looked like a Christmas tree, but it was like a thing like this that went up like a Christmas tree. And then he had all his tin cars that he collected on this tree thing going up in one room. And then in his bedroom, he had a diptych of San Francis. Oh, the whole house was just, it was like being in a museum in itself. So, and what a nice man. So,
what was your sister's boyfriend doing for him?
Carpentry.
Oh, okay.
Drywall. He was a contractor.
Painting purple.
Painting the purple. Yeah. And he got one big sculpture, number 6. That's I want to trade that from you. But yeah, he had, when I went through his studio, that was maybe part of a sculpture that got dismantled or something.
Yeah, it's a bit abstract, but I like
and
it.
then there was another one in the kitchen he gave me too. So he gave me 2. Real nice fellow.
That's
And
incredible.
then once I was walking in the neighborhood, and he drove by, and he goes, "Hi, Tom," out of the window of the car, and I'm like, he knows me. But he's passed on now. So.
Oh.
But he was the most famous artist I ever met. And then I met Ed Paschke once. He came here and had a show at the Holland Art Council. And then I was in the gallery with Bruce Coutine, and he introduced me, and that was my second hero artist that I met. Yeah. Just like, you have in your profession. If you,
Did you have any questions for them that you were like...
I feel like an idiot now because I gave him the little brochure to sign, like a little fan.
Oh, yeah, the playbill or whatever, essentially.
Playbill.
Yeah.
I had him sign it.
Well, Tom, that's a great way to end this episode. Thank you so much for joining us. It has been a real pleasure.
Thank you very much.
And people can find your work in the Button Gallery in Douglas, Michigan.
Yes.
And I guess I'm just supposing that the online presence is mostly Button Gallery.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
All right, Tom DePree.
Thank you
very
much.
much.
Thank you.